Hey, 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 hey. Hey, everybody, how you doing? It is Friday. Yes, it's Friday and it's noontime. That's right. It's noontime, my time, and it's Friday. So that means it's Freedom Friday. And you know what that also means? You got to go ahead and shout out your TGIF. That's right. Thank God it's Friday. If that's how you feel, thank God that it's Friday. But let me tell you how I feel. Let me just tell you, thank God I'm fabulous. I'm feeling really, 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 really good. I feel fabulous. I'm glad that I made it to another Friday. I don't know how you feel. I don't know how you feel. I just hope that it's good. And before we get into it, before we get into this topic today, because I thought about it, didn't know what I wanted to talk to you about. And I said, let's think about it. Let's think about it. Let's think about it. I said, fault and responsibility. Fault and responsibility. They're two different things. They're two different things. Yes, yes, everybody got somebody they might be blaming for something, putting some fault on somebody. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. But before we get into all of that, before we do, there's something we must do. Yes, we want to reclaim our time. We want to take a little bit of time to recenter. Yeah, just calm right on down, slow that pace down, and recenter a little bit. So we want to do a little breath work. That's what we want to do. What I want you to do is inhale to the count of 4. And we're going to hold it for a few seconds. And then we're going to exhale. And we'll hold that for a few seconds. And we'll repeat that a few times. Now, you can close your eyes if you're in a place that you can do that. I don't want you to do that if you're driving. Don't do that if you're driving. Don't do that if you're actually sitting at the desk. If you got your head pods on and you're taking a listen, we'll vibrate with us and listen. But if you can close your eyes, close your eyes. You want to take it a step further, put your hands over your heart and feel that you are alive. That's you. Let's get into it. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. Hold that a few seconds. Inhale again. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. One more time. Let's inhale. Hold it a few seconds. And exhale. Yeah. Doesn't that feel great? It feels so good. I always feel good when I can just intentionally take that moment to relax, because we can say, take a moment to relax. That's one thing. But you're being very intentional when you add some type of breath work with it, some type of meditation with it. It just takes it to a new level. So shake it on off, relax your shoulders. Yeah, do that. Relax your jaw. We're clenching our jaw. We got our neck tight. We hold a lot of stress there. Our shoulders tight. Relax a little bit. All right. I want you guys go ahead and tap in where you're from. Let me know where you were from, where you're listening from. And I appreciate you. Got to let you know I'm right here in the Carolinas, Carolina girl. That's how I feel. There's some, Carolina has some love here. I know it look crazy from the outside. Hmm. And I'm not saying that it's not, because we got some crazies just like everybody else. Yes, we do. We got to live with them. We got to live with them. Yeah, we do. All right. That's how I feel. Let me see who I got in here and see where they are from. All right. I got to keep the faith from Tori in the building. Greetings from D-Town. What's up, Tori? How you doing? All the way in D-Town. Yes. Darlington, South Carolina. What up with ya? See, we got Miss Io in the building. She got that big SC up there. Carolina girl, another Carolina girl right here with us. Good to have you right here. Yeah, we got a conversation here today. It's Freedom Friday. We already said TGIF. Yeah. So we can get into the conversation, and we're gonna get into it in a good frame of mind so that we can talk about this and own up to it with some responsibility. And that's what we're talking about. Fault and responsibility, right? They're two different things. Yeah, we're out here, we're blaming everybody or blaming somebody for our problems, blaming somebody for our issues. But are we gonna take responsibility for that? Are we gonna take some responsibility? Nobody can fix our lives. Nobody is gonna fix your life for you, and only you own your future. So you gotta ask yourself, like, "How am I gonna live?" Or even deeper than that, even deeper than asking yourself, "How do I wanna live?" Ask yourself, "How do I wanna die?" 'Cause do you wanna die bitter? You wanna leave here like that? You're gonna have to take some responsibility for some stuff if your plan is to be peaceful and to exit peacefully. Yeah. Some things that we just have to do, some things that just are not new to us. People don't like to hear these things. I don't know why. People don't wanna have these type of conversations. I don't know why not. You feel like you've heard it all before. You might feel like you know it. But there's nothing wrong with having that conversation because that thing has to be practiced. You have to acknowledge and you have to practice if you're gonna be accountable, right? So you gotta recognize and own your mistakes. You got to. That's the only way that you're gonna do, you know? That's the only way that you are gonna be able to take yourself into some type of peace. You've got to recognize and own your mistakes. And don't just feel like things are being done to us, right? Fault can kind of go in a few different directions. You know, they always say, like, there's your truth, their truth, and the truth. So that's 3 different stories already. So you gotta be willing to apologize and apologize sincerely. You know what that means? Sincerely. That same way that you want someone, excuse me, that same way that you want someone to apologize to you, that's how you've gotta present your apology, right? And then you gotta take actions to make things right. Gotta take those actions. Learn from those mistakes and apply those lessons for future situations. We hear it. We hear that we have to communicate openly. People don't do it. They hold their tongue. They press things down. I often think, and I'm no psychologist, but I know how I feel. I know that when we don't communicate openly and we're pressing things down, that's not making you feel good. And if you wonder how we find ourselves in these little states of depression, well, think about that. What are we doing? We're pressing things down, stuffing down our true feelings, our true emotions. And I don't see the benefit of that. We have these feelings, we have that feeling of anger, we have these feelings of grief for a reason. And certainly we can deal with it. We can, and we must. So we have them. We wanna stuff them down because we want to be pleasing. Who are we pleasing? What is that doing for you? How is that taking responsibility for the situation? And if you want to blame people for anything, I think number one, you've got to look at yourself. You've got to look in the mirror and say, well, why am I not allowing myself to feel this or to express this? And there could be several reasons. I mean, it's almost like a trained behavior. It could go all the way back to childhood where you just couldn't express it. Maybe that's there. But as an adult now, we've got to be willing to look at that. We've got to be willing to get some type of help or assistance with that. Sit down with it and say, you know what? Yeah, yeah, I am upset about this. It doesn't mean that you have to act like a spoiled brat. Okay, things aren't going your way. You don't necessarily have to throw a tantrum, but there are adult ways of communicating your disappointment. You can do that, and we should do that. We're hurting ourselves. Stop doing it. How many of you out here, and you know that you're stuffing things down? You feel like you want to blame people for things, but are you taking responsibility for yourself? Are you taking some responsibility? How do you recognize that? Let me know in the chat. I see I got a couple people in here already. What are some things that you do? Some things that can help you in these type of situations? Because you know what fault is, right? Fault refers to an action or behavior that caused a problem, while responsibility refers to being accountable or fixing the problem, making an effort to make it right. In other words, fault is about who caused the problem, and responsibility is about who's taking action to address that problem. So acknowledging responsibility for your actions is key. It leads to valuable learning opportunities and a greater sense of empowerment. And that's what we're trying to do here. That is exactly what we want to do. We want to be better people. We want to free ourselves from all of the things that are going on around us that we feel like could be stressing us out, that aren't being, that aren't productive for us. Why do we keep going around in the same circles? Why does the same thing keep happening? Well, because maybe we're just not being accountable. Maybe we're not taking that responsibility of our play in this, because we have control over our feelings and emotions. We do. I see Io here in the building. She says that she is light as a feather. Well, that's where we want people to be. I feel you on that. That's where you want to be. Sometimes, everything isn't going to be as light as a feather, obviously. There's going to be things that we have to deal with that are a little bit heavy. But the whole idea is acknowledge it, deal with it, take responsibility for whatever is going on in your life. You can't just call yourself an adult and you're out here blaming people for stuff. Things that happen whenever it happened. And it doesn't mean that it didn't happen. It doesn't mean that it wasn't traumatic. It just means you want to be in a different space and you decided to take that ownership because you don't want to feel miserable. Period. Point blank. Get on up out of it. And if you've made people feel miserable, apologize. Apologize. You dig? Where y'all at on that? How many people are good when it comes to apologizing? You sincerely apologize to people. You see you're wrong. You feel like you want to be the bigger person. So you apologize. Right? You do that. But let me ask you this question. When there's a situation and you feel like you should be apologized to, how long do you walk with that? And do you feel like you have to get an apology? Do you have to get an apology to heal? That's a very valid question. It's a little deep. It's a little deep. You might have to search a little bit within yourself. But do you feel like you have to get an apology for you to move on, for you to feel better? Where y'all at on that? Let me know. Let me know. Because I don't know. I don't really feel like I have to. I don't have to receive it. I really don't. After I have taken the opportunity to look at that situation for myself and within myself, nah, I don't need the apology. It took me a long time to get to this space. Don't get me wrong. And many things, many big things, when I decided that I was going to walk in that particular truth of saying, okay, well, I won't have to have an apology. When you make a decision to do that, I promise you, situations will come up that are going to test that. You know, it happens. Okay. So my feelings and emotions are in one place, and I said, okay, the world, the universe, okay, T, that's how you feel. Boom, and a situation arrives, and it's tested. I see Keep the Faith with Tori here. She say, I sincerely apologize. That's great. Not everybody can do that. People get so involved in their anger, or people get so involved in their position on the situation and they feel that they're right until they're just not going to apologize. They don't feel like they have anything to be sorry for. You've had to know some persons in your life like that. I'm sure that you have a situation right now that you're dealing with or that you have dealt with, and there has been no apology, and you know that there will not be an apology. I see Keep the Faith with Tori. She says, I forgive with or without an apology. You got to. Sometimes you just have to for yourself. You know, you want to move on for your peace of mind, right? Io in the building, she says, no worry needed. No sorry, I'm sorry. No sorry needed. Just be better. Absolutely. I can take that too. Keep the Faith Victoria says, I don't hold on to things long. I don't either. I really don't hold on to things very long because what I try to do is I try to deal with it. And even if I take a moment, and that moment can be whatever I determine it to be, I take that moment to deal with it, and I really move on. There's no need of holding on to that. Yeah, I get you, Tori. You said, I may hurt, but I bounce back. Absolutely. Nobody said because you have forgiven that you didn't hurt. That's not what we're talking about here. Not at all. That's not the issue. There are gonna be some very hurtful things that happen. I see a girl from Culture is in the building. How you doing, Genesis? Good to see you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Keep the Faith Victoria says, "Your emotions will betray you every time." Oh, man. I hope they don't betray you. I really hope they don't betray you. I really do. Or maybe I'm misinterpret what you're meaning here, but I certainly hope they don't betray you because we're supposed to feel what we're feeling. There's nothing wrong with that. We're like I said, we're gonna feel pain. We're gonna feel some grief. We're gonna feel those things. We have those emotions for a reason. They're not betraying us. Something is going on. But the idea is that we deal with it, you know? We free ourselves of that. Is there not a better thing that we could do on a Freedom Friday? Free yourself from that. I'm just trying to have conversations that allow us to be in a space, to take the time to know that it is okay to be us. It is okay to be different, right? It is okay to be upset, but grow from that. Take responsibility of your side. There's just a greater power in accountability. And if we're putting in the self-work, we grow to a point in our life where we learn the difference between fault and taking responsibility. Yeah, have those conversations. Have them. Hey everybody, it's MsTonya. I am here. I'm here to share with you a little bit of lifestyle, a little bit of media, and sometimes a little bit of poetry. A little bit of lifestyle, a little bit of media, and a little bit of poetry. It is April, so it's National Poetry Month, National Jazz Month. Hope you guys got an opportunity to go out and listen to some poetry, listen to a little bit of jazz if you can. It's around your town. It has to be somewhere. Look it up. Go out, step out that front door. And I know there's quite a few things going on where we are. We've got some great things coming up in this month here with poetry, with jazz, with arts. Art Fields is coming up very soon in Lake City, so I'll see you guys out there. I'm always out at Art Field, so next weekend, if you get an opportunity, go out. Starts on the 19th. Want to see some poetry? I will be out there with some of my poet friends. Mr. Tyler will be out there. Io will be there. Kevin Mullins will be there. We've got music and words. More than words flow. It's what we do. So you see us out there as you are going from space to space, from each little museum piece, taking in the culture, taking in the art. You'll be able to get some street art. All right? You guys make sure you're out there and about. I see Keep the Faith Victoria. She says, happy birthday to Consuela at Culture. Yeah, birthday shout out. We always want to give a birthday shout out. How you doing? Thank you for reminding us. Happy birthday, lady. Definitely. I see that Tori kind of gave me a little bit of an interpretation here on one of her statements. She said, emotions betray us when we let our emotions consume us. Gotcha. I can agree with that. I certainly can. That's why I say we've got to free ourselves. That's why I feel like we need to have conversations. Hopefully you have people that you can talk to. It could be a friend, could be a parent, could be a therapist, but you got to be willing to have that conversation. Could be your journal. Write it. Writing is so key. That is a way to communicate. So make sure you guys get those emotions out. Get it out. That's a part of taking in that accountability. Yeah. So you're not looking for anybody else to make you feel good, because I don't know necessarily if someone did something so traumatic that I felt like, and they felt like, an apology was warranted. I don't know necessarily that just an apology is going to necessarily make me feel better. Even when they apologize, it is still up to me to have that emotional responsibility for myself. You've got to make those decisions and take those actions for your own emotional well-being. Yeah, that's what it is, y'all. It's Freedom Friday. I want you to free yourself. I want you to free your mind. We're not going to have a long conversation here today. I want you to just free yourself, Embrace the beauty that is around you. Feel your emotions. And truly, if you sit with yourself and you know that there's something that is not right that you need to deal with, regardless of the fault, and two, if you know you are at fault, deal with it. Deal with it. Deal with it for you. All right? All right, y'all. That's all I got for you today. I just want to put you in the mind frame of knowing that fault and responsibility are two different things. And that nobody can fix your life. Only you can do that. You own your future. So ask yourself, how do I want to live? And better than that, ask yourself, how do I want to die? I don't want to die bitter. I want to be peaceful. I want to be in love. And when people really recognize that, I think they'll try to live better. Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm out. Make sure that you take the breath work and you get back to work feeling good, feeling like you're going to accomplish something because you want to have a great weekend. Let's go. Let's do some breath work. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. Hold that a few seconds. Inhale again. Hold a few seconds. Exhale. And hold that a few seconds. Inhale one more time. Hold a few seconds. And exhale. Yeah. Well, don't you feel great? I feel great. I appreciate you guys. And if nobody gave you a smile today, if nobody smiled today, you just close your eyes and give yourself a big smile and see how that feels for you. All right? Y'all be great out here. That's what we do. One love, y'all.